Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In today's video, we're going to once again be discussing the upcoming Fantastic Beasts film, Fantastic Beasts 3: The Secrets of Dumbledore. However, today we're not just going to be discussing release dates, filming locations, and prospective actors, we're going to be discussing the title of the film and its significance. Early in our childhoods, well, at least for me and a lot of you, we were first introduced to Dumbledore, the lovable Hogwarts headmaster, and at that stage, his life was still very much a mystery. There he was, a powerful and respected wizard that presided over the youth of the magical world. But what were his formative years like? How did he become the man that people came to love and respect? Expanding on this further, was Dumbledore actually a good person, or was he sort of grey like Snape and just more personable? Luckily, thanks to the Fantastic Beasts films, which are effectively Harry Potter prequels, we're finally getting a closer look at Dumbledore's formative years, the time that shaped him into the man that he is today. Your youth is the perfect time to make mistakes, because it gives you an opportunity to correct them as you progress through the rest of your life. We've had two Fantastic Beasts films so far, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, as well as Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Those two came out in 2016 and 2018 respectively, so we've been without Harry Potter content for a while. However, fortunately, the third Fantastic Beasts installment is going to be hitting theatres relatively soon on April 15th, during Easter of 2022. Along with the release date being announced, the film's much-awaited title was released as well, with film creators landing on Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Now, with a title like this, you're practically begging for Harry Potter fans to speculate. Dumbledore has a dubious past, there's no doubt about that, but what secret is this title referring to? Today, I want to discuss some theories that I have regarding the meaning of the film's title. Now, as it happens, Dumbledore's past is so controversial that at one point it prompted Rita Skeeter, known journalist, to publish a biography on the beloved Hogwarts headmaster. Entitled The Life and Lies of Albus Dumbledore, Skeeter's Poison piece ran a staggering 900 pages in length and was published 4 weeks after Dumbledore's death in June 1997. Given that the book was published after Dumbledore's death, it's unclear which segments of the book were genuinely true and which parts were fabricated by Rita, as Dumbledore was not around to protest. Despite the book's success and 5-star rating from the Daily Prophet, the book was met with mixed reviews from those who were close to or knew Dumbledore personally. Ron's aunt Muriel, for example, praised the book, while those such as Elphias Doge were furious at Skeeter's attempts to tarnish Dumbledore's good reputation. The timing of the publication of the book was also in particularly bad taste, as she intentionally used Dumbledore's death as a launchpad. The book dove into Dumbledore's humble beginnings, particularly focusing on his family life and relationship with Grindelwald. While I'm sure some of the information in the book was a product of Rita's uncanny ability to write libel, there is evidence to suggest that a good deal of information was accurate. The reason for this is that, while gathering info for the book, Skeeter interviewed Bathilda Bagshot, Grindelwald's great-aunt, while under the influence of Veritas Serum. Bagshot knew Dumbledore and Grindelwald well, so as far as sources go, she is very credible. After the book was published, Skeeter sent a copy to Bagshot with the following note: "Dear Batty, thanks for your help. Here's a copy of the book. Hope you like it. You said everything, even if you don't remember it. Rita." What an awful woman. Anyway, with all of that said, let's jump into my top 3 theories for what will be revealed as Dumbledore's secrets in the upcoming film. Albus Dumbledore's evil side. Now, if you're privy to the Harry Potter story and Dumbledore's character, then you already know that Dumbledore had a bit of an evil or misguided streak. However, this side of Dumbledore has yet to be shown on screen in either the Harry Potter or Fantastic Beasts films. So maybe, just maybe, this is the first time we'll see his former evil intentions revealed. Gellert Grindelwald, the primary antagonist in Fantastic Beasts, was born in the year 1883, and in his younger years he was a student at Durmstrang Institute. While attending the school, Grindelwald's sadistic nature shone through, and he was expelled for experimenting with twisted and dark magic. When he left school, Grindelwald travelled to Godric's Hollow, where he met a young Albus Dumbledore. Grindelwald had just been expelled and was a bit lost, and Dumbledore had been dealing with all sorts of family issues. From the moment they met, the two spent every minute together, and eventually began plotting. Upon establishing this slogan, "For the greater good," it was their intention to find the fabled Deathly Hallows, then lead a wizarding revolution that would effectively put an end to the International Statute of Secrecy, breaking down the secretive divide between the two worlds. This revolution would create a global power hierarchy that would place powerful witches and wizards at the top of the food chain, effectively giving them full control of Muggles and Muggle affairs. That's right, Dumbledore, at one stage, wanted to rule over Muggles. That's a dirty, dark secret if I've ever heard one. The family secrets. Now, when you say Dumbledore, most people will think of Albus, but what we need to remember is that Dumbledore is a surname, and the film title may actually be referring to the Dumbledore family and not just Albus as an individual. And when it comes to the Dumbledore family as a whole, there are certainly a lot of juicy tidbits that we could be exposed to, and that pretty much applies to every family member. Dumbledore's mother, Kendra Dumbledore, was the wife of Percival Dumbledore and the mother of Albus, Ariana, and Aberforth Dumbledore. She was a Muggle-born witch with jet black hair, dark eyes, high cheekbones, and a straight nose. Not much is known about Kendra, but we do know that she died in an explosion when her 14-year-old daughter Ariana lost control of her magical abilities. In fact, the only person who had anything to say about Kendra was Ron's aunt Muriel, who expressed that she was a terrifying woman who was ashamed by her squib daughter, locking her in a cellar. But Muriel isn't exactly credible, so who knows. Percival Dumbledore was a pure-blood wizard, husband to Kendra and father to Aberforth, Ariana, and Albus. When Percival's daughter and Albus's sister, Ariana, was 6, she was brutally assaulted by 3 Muggle boys. The incident left Ariana with an inability to control her magical abilities. When Percival found out about what had happened to his daughter, he furiously attacked the 3 Muggle boys. For this, he was sentenced to Azkaban. Percival never explained the reason for attacking the Muggles to the Ministry, as he feared that if they knew of her condition, she would be locked away in St. Mungo's Hospital due to her existence being a hazard to the Statute of Secrecy. This led to much speculation about Percival's crime, and many believed that the attack was driven by a radicalized perspective on blood purity, which couldn't have been further from the truth. After being locked away in Azkaban, he eventually died in the prison. Maybe his sister being attacked was what began driving Albus to his evil side. Credence. At the end of the last film, we were left on a pretty big cliffhanger, as one of the last things we witness is Grindelwald revealing to Credence Barebone that he is in fact a member of the Dumbledore family, Albus's long-lost brother, Aurelius Dumbledore. Though Grindelwald doesn't confirm who exactly Aurelius's parents are, since he refers to Albus as the young man's brother, we can safely assume that he belongs to at least one of Albus's parents. Before this point in time, it was widely thought that there were only 3 Dumbledore children, Albus, Aberforth, and Ariana. In order for Credence to carry the Dumbledore name, it would mean that he would have had to have come from Percival's side, as Kendra's maiden name is Canard. Did Percival have an affair with another woman? Maybe soon we'll find out. And that's it for this video. What do you think the secrets mentioned in the title refer to? Comment down below. Also, if you enjoy the content, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.